What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another episode of Lunch with Coach John. We have been MIA for the past 2 days. Sunday, I decided I'm actually going to only do 6 videos a week. I want a day where I'm not recording. I'm just kind of enjoying my food. And then yesterday was Memorial Day, so I just didn't record anything. But we are back. We are here. This is a very nutrient-dense meal. I'm pretty excited about this. I meal prepped a bunch when I cooked yesterday, so let's get into it. All right, so this is smoked beef ribs, zucchini, pork tenderloin, and raw cheddar. So very delicious looking meal, very nutritious meal. We've got a little bit of my seasoned salt here. So this is salt, pepper, onions, and garlic powder. And we're gonna just a little. Just get everything nice and spicy. There we go. All right, let's dig into this. First up, zucchini. Check that out. So it's not actually a zucchini. It's an 8-ball squash, which is from the zucchini family. Same macronutrients, but it's like a ball. Here's a photo. What I did was this is actually leftovers. It was really cool. So we carved out the inside, mixed it with meat and sauce, and then dumped it back in the inside, baked it, ate the inside, cleaned it out real good, and then I opened it up and sliced it, the outside, and then got these, and now I have these little zucchini fries. They're zucchini fries. Oh, I can make zucchini fries. I didn't even think about that. I got a huge container of these, so these are good. So Saturday, I jacked up my ankle. That wasn't any fun. I didn't realize how much. I knew I've been learning to enjoy running. I didn't realize how much I enjoyed running until I couldn't run. Like yesterday, I had a bad day, like in my head, because running has been my focus for so long, and then like yesterday I couldn't run, and so my mind decided to think about something else, and so it just reverted back to things it used to think about, which is like body composition and bodybuilding, and so it just wasn't fun. Like I really enjoy running. Like it's my outlet, you know. But took today off too. Did some squats and deadlifts. Not near as strong as I used to be. Not even close. Which is fair. I hadn't lifted a weight in like 12 weeks. You know, I was in an extreme calorie deficit. This week I'm at 2,600 calories a day on average. So I'm finally basically back up to where I was when I started my cut, except I'm roughly, 35 pounds lighter. But, so my body's finally starting to heal, etc. So that's like the beauty of like dieting and the reverse dieting, right? So like I would say for all, like my hormones aren't 100%, but for all intents and purposes in terms of increasing calories, I'm pretty much at the end of my reverse diet. It took me this is week 6, so probably the next 2 weeks is where it's really going to even out. So it took me about 8 weeks to reverse diet 2 months to reverse diet after 6 months of cutting. And so I started the prep at 2:30, and I ended, right now I'm like, I fluctuate between 190 and 195. So like some days, if I have a lot of salt, it'll be 195. If I'm real clean and I don't eat anything at all, like the sugar alcohols or anything, I'm like at 190, 189. Saw 187 last week at one point. But so I got down to 180.9. So I lost 49 pounds, basically, or like 50 pounds, somewhere in there, right? And I put I'd say about 12, I'll go average 12 pounds back on from the reverse diet. So all in all, I lost 40 pounds that I'm maintaining, keeping off. Like I'm keeping this extra 40 pounds off. And that's the beauty of a reverse diet. Not that you won't gain some weight back. The more aggressive you are, the more weight you might gain back. But you're probably gonna put on some pounds, and that's okay. If you have a dramatic amount of weight, I mean, think about that. Like I gained about 20% of the weight I lost, which isn't that much comparatively speaking, right? Like I'm happy to be eating as much as I was eating when I started my diet, and be 40 pounds lighter. It makes me very happy. So, it's important to look at the broader aspect of everything. Now let's get into these ribs. Dude, I did good on this rib meat. So, basically what I did was once we were done, we had our fill yesterday, I just carved the meat off the bone. And that's what we were left with. Delicious, fatty beef ribs. Those are so good. Yesterday was radishes. Here, here's a picture. Radishes, beef ribs, and steak. I hadn't had that much beef in a while. And when you stay away from a food group like in abundance for a long time, because like I've eaten nilgai and beef fat, but like just beef, I don't eat that often. But when you go from like something being very sparingly into your diet to having an abundance of it in a meal, and you're a little bit more in tune with your hunger signaling, you notice the impact it has. And like, I was very satisfied after yesterday's meal. So beef is gonna be a regular thing on the menu again, like it used to be. Simply because my body is enjoying it. I'm very satisfied from eating it. God, the beef rib is so good. And since it was Memorial Day, I was smoking all day. I thought I'd meal prep. So I meal prepped some of that pork tenderloin. Y'all have seen this pork tenderloin before. The one that has like no fat, but it's like super tender for some weird reason. We smoked it. Dang, that's good. I could use a little bit more salt. There we go. And also, something to note is this is turkey, right? So it's not technically a tenderloin. That's probably why it's so tender. They probably take a bunch of the meat, excess and stuff, all the lean parts of the breast and rib meat that they don't use, and they probably mix it with salt and probably some preservatives. And they pack it real tight and make these things. Or turkey tenderloin is really just turkey breast. One of the two is going on. I don't know. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Let me know. You know it's a good meal when the last bite is sad. I forgot to tell you the macros of this meal. So it was 100 grams of zucchini, 7 ounces of pork tenderloin or turkey tenderloin, 100 grams of beef back ribs, meat cooked, then 0.7 ounces of raw cheddar. That comes out to 539 calories, 25 grams of fat, 3.5 total carbs, and 37.9 grams of protein. So a little bit more protein than fat, but it's okay because that leaves me with like, it's gonna be fun. That leaves me with like 60 grams of fat to play with, and yeah, a lot of fat and a lot of protein to play with. I'm excited. That's another thing I will say. So I've been transitioning, like my fat is finally like, I'm at 190 grams of fat this week, 30 total carbs, and 195 grams of protein. So I'm finally back up to basically a 1-to-1 ratio, and I'm not used to it. And honestly, I'm so glad that I experienced this because it's given me, I have a lot of clients that they've never done a deeper fat adaptation, like higher fat ratio for a week or two to like really, really just get really high ketones in the blood and just really optimize for a better fat adaptation in their body from a mitochondrial level. Could be speaking out of my butt with some of those terms, but it works. But they have a hard time transitioning because I never could understand why. I was like, just eat this, this, and this. And now I understand. It's because when you get used to eating really lean meats and then adding a little bit of fat on them, you still do that. And then you end up either feeling like you're drowning your chicken breast in butter, or you feel like you have to drink butter to be able to like get your fats in. So it's given me better perspective. So when I talk to my clients that are transitioning out of a higher protein, I can kind of proactively give them advice on that, because before I wouldn't, because I didn't know. Like I didn't realize how weird of a switch it can be, and I'm experiencing it myself. Even though I used to be high fat and I transitioned to higher protein for into my cut, and now I'm back to like a higher fat. And so like it's been an interesting perspective shift. Oh, see, even I do it. No one's perfect. last piece of advice for the day. Even I get caught looking at my phone while I eat at times. The point is to do it less often than not. Count me. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Again, topics that y'all want to hear about or you want me to speak on specifically, put them in the comment section below. Until next time.